ask y'all this question because it's actually a two-part question. We talked about what are the keys of a relationship. But before I get to the keys of a relationship, there's actually maybe a three-part question. I got to talk about the keys, obviously being communication, knowledge, and commitment. The key, so the National Institute, when it comes to the whole thing about what's, about marriage and what they did surveys on, there were three critical factors, key factors. They said why a marriage will work, why it will last, and if you decide to get married, this is what you need to know. You have to have communication, knowledge, which contains knowledge of self, knowledge of other people, knowledge of your experience of love, knowledge of your experience of family, knowledge of your experience of what you can put up with, knowledge of if you've healed over your last ex-relationships, whatever. Knowledge is pretty deep. And then it also talks about commitment. So we have communication, knowledge, and commitment.
Number two, knowledge. I often talk about knowledge of self. Like if you don't have a knowledge of self, you won't get there. So it's about three questions. Who, what, and why am I? Who, what, and why am I? So now one of the general ideas behind that is just simply this. When I look at what I look at in the mirror, I'm talking about when I'm able to see beyond just the complexion or what kind of hair I got and that type of thing. You heard the expression, the eyes are the doorway to the soul. And in that reflective moment, that's where your best choices are made. When it's based on something other than that complexion, that hair, how much money I got in the bank. Now, the communication piece, right? We're the most intricate beings on the face of this planet. So now, we most often have a problem with the communication end because we don't do it properly and we don't do it enough. So the reason that we're communicating right here in this form is two different things, context and intent. If I don't properly express my intent, right, there's going to be an issue. So communication is absolutely vital because it helps us work through times of trial and tribulation. So we need to have an understanding of language and context and intent, and then it's relaying that properly.